Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonia Gavankar in for Stacey Rush. And this week, if you are the first one on your block to get the coolest stuff, or if you just want to be that cool, we're talking to you. We've got the first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S9 in the real world, the widest PC monitor on the market, and home upgrades that will make your neighbors totally jealous. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. If you have even a passing interest in video games, you'll probably have heard about the biggest show on the gaming calendar. From June 12th to June 14th, the best and brightest talents in the industry descend on Los Angeles to showcase their digital wares to the world. And this year is the second year the show is available to the public. Industry insiders don't expect much new hardware to be released by the majors this year, so you can keep your PS4 or Switch close. But if you want to be part of the absolute first crew to play the new Meteoroid or Halo titles and get sneak peeks at everything coming this year, visit e3expo.com. Uber is launching a new service called Uber Health that will help out patients who need rides to and from their doctors. Uber will partner with healthcare providers who will be able to schedule rides for patients using a special digital platform. The providers also cover the cost of the rides. The digital dashboard, which adheres to federal privacy law HIPAA, lets doctors alert patients to their rides via SMS messengers or by printing out a piece of paper. The introduction of a paper component is no small thing for the tech company. They want this to be accessible to everyone who needs it, whether they have a smartphone or not. Lyft is also joining in, announcing a partnership with Hitch Health, a non-emergency transportation company that identifies patients who may need free rides and sends SMS texts. Every year, 3.6 million Americans miss medical appointments because they don't have transportation. Missed appointments cost the medical system more than $150 billion a year. Uber and its competitor Lyft want to chip away at that problem. The drivers serving Uber Health are regular Uber drivers. Jay Hawley, head of partnerships at Uber Health, said it's up to the doctors and providers to understand a person's physical state to know if an Uber car is the best form of transportation for them. In addition, doctors and providers have full discretion on what the service can be used for, such as transporting low-income patients to doctors' offices or taking caretakers to patients' homes. Providing transportation to the doctor sounds great on paper, but what do you think about Uber and Lyft providing wheels?
What do you guys think about Uber starting a non-emergency ambulance service?
I think that's a good. Wait, can you elaborate on that more?
No.
No, unless you need to go and get dialysis, which is fine. I think that's a great idea. Like if you could, to and from dialysis, if you could get a discount for that, that would be great.
That would be great because ambulances are super expensive, and it's like I know people who don't even call ambulances. They drive me to the hospital instead because it's gonna cost too much.
Yeah, that's exactly their whole thing with it. Yeah. So how about you? What are your thoughts on an Uber ambulance service?
I haven't heard about that, but it sounds like a good idea for them to be doing. Yeah.
One of my first concerns with this would be the safety of the passengers, but wouldn't they be safer in a sedan than a subway? Coming up, shiny new gadgets and the reasons not to buy them yet. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Over 70 years of experience in heart and aviation, the members of the Association of Flight Attendants know the realities of the aircraft cabin better than anyone. We don't just serve drinks, we save lives. We don't just negotiate contracts, we move major policy issues like the smoking ban, no knives on planes, clean water, and safe food on board. The air we breathe matters, and we stop the spraying of poisonous pesticides. The Association of Flight Attendants. Stronger together, better together.
I'm sure every dog parent watching, me included, has just fallen in love with that Nissan. It's available in the UK on the X-Trail SUV right now, but we'll update you as soon as it comes stateside. Some of the most exciting connected products in 2018 debuted recently at the International Home and Houseware Show, and Colleen Burns, the mom on the run, is back with us this week to share her favorites.
We're here at the International Home and Houseware Show in Chicago, where tens of thousands of the world's most innovative and cutting-edge products are under one roof. Let's take a look at some of my top picks. The brand new 7-Cup food processor with one-click technology is now my go-to whenever I need an easy way to chop, shred, or dice. In fact, it's so easy to use, clean, and store, you won't think twice about using it. It's perfect for making salsa, salad dressing, and pasta sauce. It operates with one click and can be set to 3 speeds, low, high, and pulse. The handle is set conveniently on the side. It's leak resistant, and it's KitchenAid brand's most compact accessory storage. If you're like me, storing your pots and pans is a problem. Your drawer or cabinet is a cluttered mess, you're worried they're getting scratched, and you can't always find the right lids. But Farberware has a solution. Its exclusive Neat Nest system. These patent-pending pots and pans actually float thanks to interlocking dual-riveted handles. No worries about scratching or compromising non-stick performance. And they lock and unlock so easily. The shatter-resistant glass lids nest right inside. Cuisinart's brand new cold brew coffee maker brews a pot in as little as 25 minutes, and it can stay fresh in your refrigerator for 2 weeks. Patented spin technology pushes water through the grounds in a much more efficient way to give you a richer, sweeter cup of fresh cold brewed coffee in less time. The unit also allows coffee lovers to customize their beverage by choosing mild, medium, or bold brew. Gourmet's new Wi-Fi based refrigerator-enabled multi-cooker is the perfect product for a busy mom. And what mom isn't busy? It's called the new Cool Cooker. It's available later this year, and it's the world's first multi-cooker with refrigeration unit. The 11-in-1 cooker can sear, bake, make rice, roast, or even sous vide. You can also make yogurt, and it will stay cold until you're ready to eat it. For more information, visit dailylounge.com.
Don't go anywhere. The Tech Show will be right back. Welcome back to the Tech Show. Marcus Brownlee has gotten his hands on the just-released Samsung Galaxy S9. And though some of you have already pre-ordered it, let's see if you should be the first on your block to get it.
Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and the leaks are finally over, the hype is done, the speculation is complete. Welcome to your first look at the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the Galaxy S9 Plus. So in general, as soon as you look at it, it's pretty clear it's a refinement of what we've already seen with the Galaxy S8, but there are a couple new interesting things worth noting. So, what's new with these new phones? First of all, the all-new colors. There's the black, like usual, which is stealthy. Then there's also this coral blue and this lilac purple. And then internationally, there's going to be a silver titanium one again. I mean, yeah, Samsung tends to be using the super cool color scheme for these phones. I'm not the biggest fan. I'll probably still end up using the black one. But the mirror finish stays. It's still super shiny and reflective like the past couple of years. This is probably a phone you'll end up putting a dbrand skin on to keep it from looking like a mess 6 seconds after you take it out the box. Like I said though, most of this phone is going to be pretty familiar. Still the 5.8-inch and 6.2-inch Infinity displays respectively. Still IP68 certified. Still has wireless charging. Still has USB Type-C. Still has a headphone jack. The speaker got a slight improvement, but it's still in the same place right at the bottom of the phone. But they added stereo listening with this earpiece up at the top of the phone. And from listening to it, it's a bit louder, but not significantly better in quality or anything. And they've also added a couple small things now, like iris scanning from the Galaxy Note and facial recognition, so there's more ways to biometrically authenticate if it's not just a fingerprint reader. But obviously, by far, the biggest change and the biggest new feature that people were looking forward to for Galaxy S9 is the camera. So Galaxy S9's new camera is the first I've ever seen in any smartphone that can change apertures. It's a variable aperture lens. So you can shoot at f1.5, wide open, super huge amount of light, or you can stop down for more detail to f2.4. And you can actually see it physically doing this and switching when you move back and forth between f1.5 and f2.4. It's a pretty obvious difference when you get a good look at it. This is super cool to me. I've never seen such a small camera with a variable aperture before. Pretty sure GoPros don't do this. Most tiny cameras smaller than a point and shoot don't do this. There's also in the camera a better UI for swiping through the different modes now, similar to the iPhone. There's better multi-shot for noise reduction and HDR capabilities. There's some Bixby improvements, so it'll do object recognition, things like what Google Lens is doing, and it'll also live translate signs that are in different languages, so that's cool. And something else interesting was it will overlay makeup on you, and then if you like it, it'll give you a link to buy that makeup. I guess that's pretty neat. But there's even something they're calling AR emoji. AR emoji. R emoji. An emoji ripoff. It's a feature that uses the front-facing camera to create an animated version of your likeness. So you can use that to record and send videos of yourself as this animation talking to people, or you can make yourself an animal too, no big deal.
It's fine. Samsung makes a fine phone, but the changes versus the S8 are really small. If you really need a camera upgrade, go for the S9 Plus with the dual lenses. And if you love your wired headphones, it's becoming the only major left with a standard headphone jack. But overall, not a huge jump from the S8. Now we'll go to the Linus's tech tips to check out another Samsung release, the CHG90 Super Ultra Wide Monitor. Yes, that's really its name.
You just got your beautiful new 34-inch ultra-wide monitor. Welcome to the absolute cream of the crop of gaming, productivity, and cinema experiences, my friend. Is what I would have said if Samsung hadn't just grabbed the bar and stretched it with their brand new $1,300 49-inch 32:9 high refresh rate super ultra wide gaming monitor. But is this thing like totally worth it, man? Or just like totally stupid, man? The CHG90 is an absolute behemoth. Its 49-inch diagonal quantum dot panel is nearly 4 feet wide, and altogether it weighs 33 pounds. And yet, it still manages to look light and streamlined, with thin bezels and a slender yet robust stand with a charcoal and titanium finish that hits that sweet spot between gamery and boring. The 1800R curved screen can swivel up to 15 degrees in either direction, tilt between -2 and 15 degrees, and elevate about 5 inches. So not nearly as high as it would have to be to support rotating into portrait mode. Sorry, Reddit fanatics, but that is more than a little silly. In practice though, a 34-inch ultra-wide already feels about as productive as 2 monitors. This lets you comfortably have 3 or maybe even 4 things open side by side if you stretch a bit. It is so wide that it will actually require a little bit of creative thinking to make efficient use of it. Even your 21:9 CinemaScope movies will have black bars on the side. So, I mean, one of the ideas we had was to run a 16:9 game in the middle with streaming and social media windows surrounding it. Cool, right? Leading us then to the CHG90's biggest weak point, the resolution. It's 3840 by 1080. So compared to 16:9 4K, it is half as many pixels, making it easier to drive for your graphics card, but also it's huge and only half the number of pixels.
This monitor is ridiculous in a good way. I could see it for someone who works with spreadsheets all day and wants to game at night, but there's no need to rush this thing home just to get on Reddit. Remember, anytime you do upgrade, use the iRecycle app on Android or Apple to keep that old device out of our landfills. We'll be right back with much more of The Tech Show.
Attention homeowners. Quicken Loans has some very important information regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. We've told you about HARP in the past, and we're happy to report that nearly 3.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. Quicken Loans is here to help you save your money. Why Quicken Loans? The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines. We'll work with you to understand your specific circumstances and strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. And for 8 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. If you're not familiar with HARP, it's a U.S. government program designed specifically for homeowners who have little or no equity. A great feature of the HARP program is that most HARP refinance loans do not require an appraisal, and there are fewer income verification requirements. That makes it simpler, easier, and even faster. And even if you've been denied for a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that you now may be eligible. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. And we'll do all we can to help you save money on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. Find out if you're eligible to take advantage of today's incredibly low interest rates and start saving money every month on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans today or go to quickenloans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
Sometimes you see these awesome features in concept cars and know you'll never see them in real life, but in this case, it's practical. And here today, we are lucky to have Brad Smith, our Tech Show correspondent, to tell us more. Hi, Brad.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so happy to be on.
So tell me about the Geneva Motor Show. Why is this something we should care about when it comes to technology?
All right, well, the Geneva Motor Show is kind of a showcase for all the biggest brands and car makers out there. And I'm not talking even just about like Toyota or Nissan. This is the biggest budget players in the game. You're talking Ferrari, Koenigsegg, McLaren, and these are the most expensive, most exotic, most outrageous cars in the world, and they showcase the best of what is possible at any price point.
But I'm not going to buy a supercar, so why do I even care about the Ferraris of the world?
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, most of us won't even see one of these cars on the road because they're so few and far between. But what they really provide us with is a glimpse into the future and what is coming on cars. Back in 1986, Porsche released the 959, and it, in 1986, cost $225,000, which was a fantastic sum of money for a car, right? But it was also the first production vehicle to have a tire pressure monitoring system. It was the first car to have sequential turbos, and it had a host of other features that are like pretty commonplace in a Porsche today. Right. Like it would stack up even today in those sort of features. But it really showcased what was coming and was a very accurate predictor for the future of cars. Today, not a single car is sold in the US without a tire pressure monitoring system.
So what kind of trends did you see this time that we're gonna all have in our cars like 20 years from now?
Yeah, you know, the biggest trends right now from the Geneva Motor Show that you can see are electric cars and self-driving technology. Some of the biggest concepts were centered around this idea of electrifying your engine and to get that self-driving technology. There's a huge shift in the way car manufacturers are designing cars, and they're designing their cars away from being a driving experience and towards being a passenger experience, and right now making that driving portion of it kind of a secondary thing. One of, I think, the best examples of this from the show was from a brand called Lagonda. It's owned by Aston Martin. It's been around since 1909, but what it is for Aston Martin is their way to kind of break the mold from their traditional sports cars and go in a different direction, and that's what they're doing with this car. And it's total luxury. It utilizes really different materials and is designed in a way that driving is more of a secondary experience. They talk about the autonomous features as coming in stages. Like you're driving, you may be parking the car somewhere, but like when you're on a motorway, you can turn on all the autonomous driving features and turn your whole seat around and engage and have a more lounge environment. The car is all electric, the floor is completely flat, and it's designed as a passenger and more experience rather than a driving experience.
Is that the most tech-forward car company you saw?
No, actually, I think I would say one of the most tech-forward car companies right now is a brand called Rimac. And what's really interesting about them is that they have taken the kind of other direction away from autonomous driving, but still being an electric car. They are the kind of electric hypercar. They released their second car. It's called the Concept 2. Their first car was obviously the Concept 1. But this Concept 2, from electric power, produces almost 2,000 horsepower.
Wow.
And it's the fastest car in the world. It does 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds.
That's amazing.
It's truly an incredible vehicle. And what's really kind of interesting with them is that it's one of these cars that is displaying the future, because they also provide components. That's their main business, is providing this technology to other companies. They provide technology for Aston Martin and Renault and just a bunch of different people. And so they're developing these technologies, and what you see coming from them will be in a Nissan in a few years, really.
So what dream car are you going to buy?
For me, I think the car that stole the show was the Ferrari Pista.
Okay.
It's the 488 Pista. It's the new kind of track-focused variant of their car. And I think one of the coolest things was it came with carbon fiber wheels this year, which is kind of a big deal. But
it was the Pista Resistance.
It was exactly what it was.
Thanks for coming, Brad.
Thank you so much for having me.
Coming up after the break is Take My Money. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah, I mean, this Ferrari, if you could see it in real life,
What color was it, though?
Well, they had a couple.
Okay, Braylon, call your mama. Pick up the phone and call me.
No, he's dialing first, like you do on your phone. And he's gonna pick it up.
Wait, 2243. Where's the 0?
There, you got it.
Hello?
It doesn't work.
It just goes.
Try calling me, Braylon.
I messed up. Like, look.
What are you gonna do? Google it?
He's gonna call the secret.
Now it's time for Take My Money, where this week we have the Seago, an invention that lets you hang out underwater apparently long enough to play a board game. Okay, first off, this video is hilarious. But beyond that, this seems a lot easier than lugging scuba gear around if you just want to go out for an afternoon. Okay, Seago, go ahead, take my money. Thanks for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Tech you later.